Did you ever wake up and wonder, why does everything suddenly feel a bit harder than it used to? Why is it that names slip your mind more often, or that a simple walk around the block feels like climbing a hill? Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, this isn't quite the me I remember? Aging comes with surprises, some amusing, others frustrating, and many that no one ever really warned us about. But here's the good news. You're not alone, and there are ways to face every one of these challenges with strength, humor, and grace. In this video, we're going to explore 10 often overlooked changes that come with growing older and uncover practical, uplifting ways to manage them. From staying sharp and mobile to feeling confident and connected, you'll learn how to turn these hidden hurdles into stepping stones for a healthier, more joyful life. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's dive into this journey. Because aging might surprise you, but with the right tools, you'll be ready for anything. Number 1. The name game, why we forget, and the trick to remembering. Have you ever bumped into someone at the grocery store, someone you've known for years, and suddenly their name just vanishes from your mind? You smile, nod politely, and hope they don't notice that your brain is drawing a blank. It's frustrating, even a little embarrassing. But let me assure you, if this has happened to you, you are definitely not alone. As we age, small memory lapses, especially when it comes to names or little details, become more common. This doesn't mean you're losing your mind or heading straight for serious memory problems. In fact, it's a very normal part of aging. One reason this happens is because the part of the brain responsible for memory, called the hippocampus, naturally starts to shrink over time. Another factor is that the brain has a lot more on its plate. After decades of living, learning, working, and remembering, your mental file cabinet is pretty full. It takes a little longer to sort through everything. Let me tell you about Barbara. She's 72, sharp as a tack, and socially active. But one day, she saw her longtime neighbor walking her dog and just couldn't pull her name to the surface. I could picture every conversation we ever had. Remember what kind of cookies she bakes at Christmas? Barbara said. But that name? Gone. That moment stuck with her, not because she forgot, but because it made her feel like something was slipping. That feeling is common, but the good news is that there are easy ways to manage it. One simple trick is to start a memory journal by your phone or near your front door. Jot down names of neighbors, new acquaintances, or even staff at your favorite diner. Add a little detail to help it stick. Tom, neighbor with the golden retriever, or Carol, church choir alto section. You can also use your phone's Notes app to keep a digital list, or set a quick reminder if you're heading to an event where you'll see familiar faces. Another great strategy is association. Connect the person's name with a visual or a rhyme. Nancy dances. Mark from the park. These little mental hooks can help your brain make the connection more easily the next time. And here's the most important thing. Don't beat yourself up. Forgetting a name now and then doesn't define your intelligence or value. Most people are understanding. And honestly, they're probably struggling with the same thing. So the next time a name slips your mind, take a breath, smile, and either ask again or use one of your new tools. You're not failing. You're adapting. And that's the heart of aging well. Adapting with grace. Now that we've talked about names, let's move on to something just as familiar. Feeling unexpectedly tired after the simplest of tasks. Why does a quick trip to the kitchen suddenly feel like a marathon? Let's explore that in the next section. Number 2. When tired feels like exhausted. The new rules of energy. Have you ever started making lunch or folding laundry only to find yourself needing a break halfway through? What used to be quick and easy now feels like you just ran a 5K. This kind of sudden, deep fatigue catches many people off guard as they get older. But there's a reason for it and ways to manage it without feeling defeated. As we age, the body's ability to produce and distribute energy changes. Our metabolism slows down, and the cells that help power our muscles, called mitochondria, don't work as efficiently as they once did. Add in common age-related health conditions like arthritis or blood pressure issues, and it's no surprise that energy doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Take George, for example. At 74, he's always been a morning person. But lately, just getting through his daily routine, making coffee, reading the paper, and walking the dog, leaves him ready for a nap by 10 a.m. At first, he thought he was just getting lazy. But after speaking with his doctor and learning about how aging affects energy levels, George made a few small changes that helped him feel more like himself. Here's what worked for him, and what might work for you too. First, pace yourself. Break tasks into smaller chunks and spread them throughout the day. You don't need to vacuum the entire house in one go. Do one room in the morning, another in the afternoon. Build in time for short rest breaks. Just 10 to 15 minutes of sitting quietly can recharge you. Second, stay hydrated. Dehydration is sneaky, and it can sap your strength before you even feel thirsty. Try to drink about 6 to 8 cups, 48 to 64 ounces, of water each day, unless your doctor has told you otherwise. Third, fuel your body wisely. Heavy meals can weigh you down, while smaller, balanced meals can keep your energy steady. Focus on foods that are rich in nutrients, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins like chicken or fish. And don't skip meals. Your body needs consistent fuel. And don't forget about movement. It might sound backward, but gentle exercise can actually boost your energy. Try a morning walk, light stretching, or even a bit of chair yoga. George started doing 15 minutes of stretching and noticed his energy improved within a week. Most importantly, listen to your body. Needing rest doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise. Taking care of your energy is just like managing your money. Spend it wisely and invest in things that give you joy and purpose. Speaking of purpose, have you noticed that despite eating well and staying active, your weight still creeps up? That can feel just as frustrating and confusing. In our next section, we'll dig into why unexpected weight gain happens after 65 and what you can do about it. Let's keep going.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 3. Silent weight gain. Why it happens. Even if you don't change your diet. Have you stepped on the scale recently and thought, wait a minute, how did I gain 5 pounds? You haven't changed how much you eat. You're still going on your daily walk. But somehow, those extra pounds have crept in, and they're not budging. If this sounds familiar, you're not imagining it. It's a common experience for many people after 65, and it has more to do with biology than willpower. Let's break it down. As we age, our bodies naturally lose lean muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. This muscle loss starts as early as our 30s, but really speeds up in our 60s and beyond. Since muscle burns more calories than fat, having less muscle means we're burning fewer calories even if we're just sitting still. That slower burn is what causes those subtle pounds to sneak on, even if your diet hasn't changed. Then there's metabolism. Think of it like your body's internal engine. In your younger years, it ran like a sports car. But as time goes on, that engine idles a bit lower. Add in hormonal changes, especially for women post-menopause, and you've got a recipe for gradual weight gain. Let me introduce you to Ruth. At 69, she's still walking her dog every morning, eating home-cooked meals, and enjoying her garden. But last year, she noticed her pants felt tighter, even though she hadn't changed her routine. After talking with her doctor and a dietitian, she learned that small adjustments, not big overhauls, could make a big difference. One of the easiest tips? Watch your portions. Try switching from a 12-inch dinner plate to a 9-inch one. It's a simple way to reduce calorie intake without feeling deprived. Also, Fill half your plate with vegetables, a quarter with lean protein, like grilled chicken or beans, and a quarter with whole grains like brown rice or quinoa. And while cardio like walking is great, adding strength training just 2 or 3 times a week can help rebuild some of that lost muscle. You don't need to lift heavy weights. Resistance bands or even soup cans can work wonders. Ruth started doing 10 minutes of strength exercises every morning, and within a few months, she noticed her clothes fit better and her energy improved. Here's the key takeaway. Weight gain after 65 isn't a personal failure, it's a natural shift. But with a few mindful habits, you can keep things balanced and feel great in your body. Here's the key takeaway. Weight gain after 65 isn't a personal failure, it's a natural shift. But with a few mindful habits, you can keep things balanced and feel great in your body. Now that we've talked about weight, let's shift to something just as common, but often overwhelming, the seemingly endless stream of doctor's appointments. Coming up next, we'll look at how to stay on top of your health without feeling buried in paperwork or stress. Let's dive in. Number 4. Doctor overload. Managing appointments without losing your mind. Have you ever looked at your calendar and thought, another doctor's appointment? Didn't I just go last week? For many folks over 65, healthcare starts to feel like a full-time job. Between checkups, specialist visits, lab work, and follow-ups, it can get overwhelming fast. And that's before you even add in prescriptions or insurance paperwork. But here's the thing. Frequent medical visits aren't a sign that something's wrong with you. They're a sign you're being proactive about your health. Catching issues early, managing chronic conditions, and staying on top of screenings is part of how we stay independent and strong as we age. That said, it doesn't mean the process isn't frustrating. Take Walter, for example. He's 77 and still lives on his own. But when he found himself going to 5 different doctors in 1 month, he started feeling anxious and confused. I couldn't remember what each doctor told me, he said, and when they'd ask if anything changed, I couldn't always keep it straight. That stress led him to miss a follow-up and nearly delayed treatment for a minor heart issue. So how can you stay organized without feeling buried? Start with a health binder. It can be as simple as a 3-ring binder or a folder with pockets. Inside, keep a calendar of upcoming appointments, a list of your current medications, and a notepad for questions you want to ask your doctor. Add a pocket for lab results or test instructions. When Walter began using one, he said it felt like finally putting everything in one drawer instead of scattered all over the house. For tech-savvy folks, try using your phone's calendar and reminder apps. Some Medicare providers also offer online portals where you can track appointments, prescriptions, and test results. Don't be afraid to ask your doctor's office to help you sign up. They're usually happy to walk you through it. Another tip. Bring a friend or family member to important appointments. A second set of ears can help catch important information, and they might think of questions you didn't. If that's not possible, ask the doctor's office if you can record the visit on your phone, with their permission, so you can review it later. Here's the bottom line. Managing your health shouldn't feel like chaos. With a few systems in place, you can stay informed, feel more in control, and use your energy on what truly matters. Enjoying life. And speaking of enjoyment, have you noticed that activities you used to love, like reading or doing a puzzle, just don't hold your focus the way they used to? Up next, we'll talk about why concentration can fade with age and how to bring that mental clarity back into your daily routine. Let's keep going.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 5. Foggy brain. How to keep your mind sharp at 70, 80, and beyond. Have you ever sat down to read a book or watch your favorite show only to realize your mind keeps wandering? Or maybe you've walked into a room and forgotten why you went there in the first place. That cloudy, distracted feeling, often called brain fog, can be frustrating, especially when you've always considered yourself sharp and focused. Here's the truth. Experiencing some changes in memory and concentration is a normal part of aging. Just like our joints may stiffen or our eyesight changes, our brains also shift as we get older. Blood flow to the brain may slow slightly, and certain neurotransmitters don't fire as quickly as they used to. But that doesn't mean you're losing your smarts. It means your brain, like your body, needs a little more intentional care. Take Helen, for instance. She's 75 and used to devour mystery novels in a weekend. Lately, though, she finds herself rereading pages or losing track of the plot. "It made me feel like I was slipping," she admitted. But after talking with her doctor and making a few small changes, Helen found she could get back into her books and even finished a 500-piece puzzle with her granddaughter. So what made the difference? First, stay mentally active. Just like physical muscles need exercise, your brain thrives on challenge. Try crossword puzzles, Sudoku, or memory games. Even better, learn something new, a craft, a language, or how to play an instrument. Learning stimulates fresh connections between brain cells and builds mental resilience. Second, create focus-friendly environments. Reduce distractions by turning off background noise, setting your phone aside, and working in well-lit areas. If your mind tends to wander, break tasks into shorter chunks. Read one chapter at a time instead of aiming to finish the whole book in one sitting. Next, don't overlook the basics: sleep, nutrition, and movement. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, eat plenty of brain-friendly foods like leafy greens, berries, and fish, and get moving. Even 30 minutes of walking a day can improve blood flow to the brain and sharpen thinking. Helen also started journaling. Every morning, she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for and 1 thing she wanted to focus on that day. This not only grounded her, but improved her memory and mood over time. Remember, foggy moments don't mean you're broken. They're a signal to slow down, tune in, and care for your mind with intention. And while keeping your brain sharp is important, so is keeping your heart full. Coming up next, we're going to talk about one of the most challenging but common experiences among older adults: loneliness. Let's explore how to rebuild meaningful connections and stay socially vibrant, no matter your age. Number 6. The loneliness trap: how to build a new circle. After 65, have you ever looked around and realized your phone isn't ringing as often? Maybe the neighborhood has changed, old friends have moved away, or loved ones are no longer here. You find yourself eating alone more often, going days without a real conversation, and feeling a quiet kind of ache that's hard to explain. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And that's exactly the point. Loneliness among adults over 65 is more common than many people think. According to the National Institute on Aging, social isolation can increase the risk of serious health problems like heart disease, depression, and even cognitive decline. It's not just about feeling blue. It affects your whole body and mind. But here's the hopeful part. Just like we can build physical strength with gentle exercises, we can rebuild social strength with small, meaningful steps. Take Evelyn. She's 78, widowed, and lives in the same home she and her husband built 40 years ago. After he passed, her world felt painfully quiet. "At first I thought I just needed time," she said. "But months went by, and I realized I wasn't just grieving. I was truly lonely." She decided to take a leap and join a knitting circle at her local community center. It wasn't easy at first. She was nervous, felt out of place. But slowly, conversation bloomed, and laughter returned. Now, she says, Thursdays are her favorite day of the week. So how can you start rebuilding your circle? First, look for groups tailored to your interests. Local senior centers, libraries, churches, or even YMCAs often offer activities like book clubs, gardening meetups, or low-impact exercise classes. These aren't just ways to pass the time. They're chances to connect with people who share your passions. Second, don't be afraid to try online options. While technology can feel intimidating, platforms like Zoom or Facebook have made it easier to join virtual groups or reconnect with old friends. Your local library or community college may even offer free tech classes to help you get started. Also, consider volunteering. Whether it's helping out at a food pantry or reading to kids at the library, giving your time can be a powerful way to feel connected and needed. Here's the heart of it. Building a new social circle after 65 takes courage, but you've faced harder things before. Start small. One new connection can grow into many, and just as relationships nourish the heart, movement nourishes the body. In our next section, we'll look at why simple tasks, like bending down or walking a block, start to feel harder, and what you can do to stay strong, steady, and mobile well into your golden years. Let's keep moving forward together. Number 7. The hidden danger of limited mobility. And the number one exercise you should do daily. Have you ever caught yourself avoiding certain movements, like reaching for something on a low shelf or walking that extra block, because it just doesn't feel as easy as it used to? Maybe your knees feel stiff or your balance feels a little shaky. These small hesitations might seem harmless at first, but over time they can quietly lead to something more serious. Limited mobility. Limited mobility is one of the most overlooked risks to independence in older adults. It doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in gradually. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and before you know it, walking up a flight of stairs or getting out of a low chair feels like a challenge. And the less we move, the more mobility we lose. It's a tough cycle, but one you can break. Let's talk about Henry. He's 81, a retired mechanic and used to be on his feet all day. But in recent years, he found himself spending more time in his recliner. His legs began to feel weaker, and one day he tripped in his driveway and had a bad fall. That fall was a wake-up call. After physical therapy, Henry committed to doing one simple movement every day: sit-to-stand exercises. That's right. The best exercise to maintain your strength and independence is something you're already doing dozens of times a day: standing up from a seated position. Here's how it works. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the ground. Cross your arms over your chest or use the armrests if needed. Slowly stand up without using your hands if you can. Sit back down with control. Start with 5 to 10 repetitions a day. As you get stronger, increase the number or try it with light hand weights. This one move strengthens your thighs, hips, and core, all essential for balance and preventing falls. In addition to sit-to-stands, daily stretching and short walks, whether indoors or around the block, can help keep your joints lubricated and muscles active. Water aerobics or chair yoga are also great low-impact options, especially if you have arthritis or joint pain. The key is consistency. You don't need to train for a marathon. You just need to move with intention every day. Remember, motion is lotion for your joints. The more you move, the more you can keep moving. Now that we've tackled the body, let's talk about something just as vital: your sleep. Are you finding it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep through the night? Coming up next, we'll explore why sleep can get tricky after 65 and the gentle habits that can help you get the rest your body deserves. Let's dive in.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 7 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 8. The sleep puzzle. Why you're wide awake at 3 a.m. and how to fix it. Have you ever looked at the clock in the middle of the night, maybe 3 a.m., and thought, why am I awake again? You're not alone. Many people over 65 find that sleep doesn't come as easily as it once did. Falling asleep takes longer, staying asleep feels impossible, and getting up in the morning feels anything but refreshing. Let's unravel this puzzle together. As we age, our sleep patterns change. Our bodies produce less melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate the sleep-wake cycle. Add in more frequent bathroom trips, certain medications, or even just the aches and pains that come with aging, and you've got the perfect recipe for restless nights. Take Marjorie, for example. She's 76 and used to sleep like a rock. But over the past year, she noticed she was waking up multiple times each night and struggling to get back to sleep. "I'd lie there and start worrying about everything from bills to my grandson's science project," she said. The more she worried, the harder it became to fall back asleep. What helped Marjorie, and what can help you, is creating a bedtime routine that supports good sleep. First, set a regular sleep and wake time, even on weekends. Your body loves routine, and a consistent schedule helps regulate your internal clock. Next, cut back on afternoon caffeine, including coffee, tea, and even chocolate. Try to limit caffeine after 2 p.m. if you're sensitive. Then, about an hour before bed, start winding down. Turn off bright screens, dim the lights, and do something relaxing. Read a calming book, listen to soft music, or try a few gentle stretches. Marjorie started using a lavender-scented heating pad and did a simple breathing exercise. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Within a week, she noticed a big improvement. Your sleep environment matters too. Make sure your bedroom is cool, around 65 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal, dark and quiet. Use blackout curtains if needed, and consider white noise or a soft fan to mask household sounds. Still waking up during the night? Don't panic. Get up, walk gently around the house, sip some water, and do a quiet activity like reading until you feel sleepy again. Avoid turning on the TV or scrolling on your phone. Blue light can trick your brain into staying alert. And remember, it's okay to talk to your doctor. Poor sleep can sometimes be linked to medications or conditions like sleep apnea, which are treatable. The takeaway? Better sleep isn't about being perfect. It's about creating habits that tell your body it's time to rest. Now that we've covered how to get better sleep, let's talk about another common surprise as we age. Realizing your hearing or eyesight isn't quite what it used to be. In the next section, we'll explore how to stay connected even when the world starts to sound or look a little different. Let's keep going. Number 9. When the world gets quiet. Adapting to hearing and vision changes. Have you found yourself asking people to repeat themselves more often? Or maybe turning up the volume on the TV a little higher each month? Or perhaps you've noticed street signs seem blurrier, or reading a menu in low light has become more difficult. These changes can be subtle at first, but over time they add up, and suddenly the world doesn't sound or look quite the same. This is one of the more emotional parts of aging for many people. Hearing and vision connect us to our surroundings, our loved ones, and our sense of independence. When those senses begin to fade, it's easy to feel frustrated, embarrassed, or even disconnected. Let's look at Paul's story. He's 73, a retired teacher, and always loved lively family dinners. But he started avoiding big gatherings because he couldn't follow the conversations anymore, especially when several people were talking at once. "I felt left out and didn't want to keep asking people to repeat themselves," he admitted. It wasn't until his daughter gently encouraged him to get a hearing test that he realized how much he'd been missing. Here's the good news. Modern solutions for hearing and vision changes are better and more discreet than ever. First, let's talk hearing. Hearing loss is common after 65 and usually progresses slowly. But delaying treatment can lead to social withdrawal and even cognitive decline. If you notice signs, like muffled speech, needing the TV louder than others, or difficulty hearing in noisy environments, schedule a hearing test. Devices like digital hearing aids can make a world of difference, and Medicare may cover part of the cost depending on your plan and state. Now for vision. Common age-related conditions include presbyopia, trouble seeing things up close, cataracts, and glaucoma. The key is regular eye exams, at least once every 1 to 2 years. Updated prescriptions, proper lighting at home, and using magnifying tools can help you stay independent and engaged. Paul also started using reading glasses with built-in LED lights. He swears they're a game changer. One more thing. Don't let pride stop you from getting help. These tools aren't signs of weakness. They're your bridge to staying active, safe, and connected. Whether it's a magnifying lamp, a smartphone with large text, or hearing aids that sync to your TV, there are countless options that fit your lifestyle and comfort level. The lesson? The world may get a little quieter or blurrier, but with the right tools, you can stay fully in it. And while we're talking about adjustments, let's move into something even more personal: what it really means to ask for help. In our next section, we'll explore how to handle the emotional challenge of needing assistance and how accepting support can actually help you stay independent longer. Let's talk about it. As we journey through the later chapters of life, one of the greatest lessons is learning how to adapt with grace. Aging brings change, sometimes subtle, sometimes startling. Our bodies slow down, our memories slip, and routines we once took for granted become new challenges. But within these changes lies a quiet strength, the wisdom to listen to your body, the courage to ask for help, and the resilience to keep moving forward. Life at 65, 75, or even 85 isn't about staying the same. It's about growing into a version of yourself that is just as capable, just as worthy, and perhaps even more compassionate than before. Whether it's remembering a neighbor's name, managing a new health routine, or rebuilding a social circle, each step reminds us that we're still learning, still growing, and still very much alive. The key is to approach each day with curiosity, flexibility, and a willingness to try. Because even in moments of frustration, there's an opportunity to reconnect with others, with your passions, and most importantly, with yourself. Aging is not a decline. It's a deepening. And with the right mindset, it can be one of the richest, most meaningful times in your life.
Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.